So, welcome to Past, Present, Future, the Full Circle podcast. On this podcast, we will be speaking to artists, managers, label owners, stylists, really anyone involved within the UK music and rap industry. The aim is to give you a full circle overview on their life, their past, their present, and obviously their future. But yeah, so to get into it, so Past, Present, Future, episode 14. So incredibly excited, as I always am. So we are here with dness. So as always, bro, I'd like to give you like the opportunity to introduce yourself, and then I can kind of go into the crux of the conversation. And
dness. That's it, man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
No more needs to be said. So I wanted to start in the past, as I always do, as we go through the past, present, future journey, and just ask you, what is your immediate reaction when I say the word past?
My immediate reaction, like the first thing that comes to mind, consistency. I don't know, I kind of, as soon as you say that, I'm thinking of music, because obviously it's podcast music related, so I just think of like consistency and just journey, I guess. I don't know, it's been a while, man.
Journey is a good word, and a lot of the conversation will be moulded by the fact that I'm obviously a fan of yours and I've listened to a lot of your music, and therefore I've taken inspiration from the music to mould this conversation. And within your past and even in your most recent music, you're very vocal about growing up as a fatherless child. So I wanted to ask you about that, and just to kind of understand, what did that look like and how did that affect you growing up?
So growing up, I was born in Jamaica. So in Jamaica, I had my dad and my mum for a bit, and then they travelled the world for a little bit with me. My pops used to do, he was a reggae singer, but also used to do just stuff on the side, like little stuff. And then there was an issue with him and my mum. My mum had to escape from him. I got kidnapped and brought to the UK. And then I saw him a couple of times after that. I think like they started speaking. He would come like a couple of times after that, see him a bit, but then he weren't really around. And then I think it might be my 15th, 16th, 21st. I think either my 20th or 21st birthday, I got told that he's dead. And then the birthday not long after that, he called me, which is mad. But the reason I got told that, because my dad used to do shady stuff back in the day, so I think he had to kind of tell people he disappeared or whatever. I never really asked the details, to be fair, but and then found out he was alive.
How did that affect you?
Because he was gone for so long, it's just like, I don't know, it weren't like there weren't no immediate like rush to rekindle or find out things. It's just, you've never really been around, it don't really make a difference, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
it makes sense. But specifically growing up, because you say like there weren't no pat on the back for me and stuff like that, like how was growing up without that influence?
So when I came to the UK, I had my uncle Winston, who was kind of like, he was my father figure in it. So when I say fatherless child, I just mean like my biological father wasn't there for me, but in terms of a male figure, it was my uncle Winston. And obviously I've had a mentor since young as well, Noble. So I've had like father figures or people that can like guide me or give me advice and stuff. But it was all right, to be fair. I don't know, man. My mum did so much. It was like, my mum was both, innit? You know, a lot of people say that my mum was my dad, but she literally was, bro. I didn't really feel like, until you grow up, I didn't really notice how much I needed a father until now. Do you get it? There's certain things my mum couldn't teach me. I didn't really notice at the time because she held it together so well.
What sort of things you say, like upon reflection, there's certain things, what sort of things do you think she couldn't teach you that you missed out on?
I think it's more how to handle the pressures of being a man. Like there's certain conversations that she just might not understand. Do you know what I mean? It's just, even with down to music and pursuing the music, with my dad being a musician, it's like that would have been an easier conversation as opposed to my mum. Most of the time, it's only like in the last few years she started to be like, yo, well, this is something he's going to be doing forever, so I might as well get with it. But before that, it's really been like my back against the wall with it, trying to explain it to her. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you know, that generation is tangible, innit? You need to see something. Like, what's your craft that you go and do every day that brings you? You can't really see the music. like as much as you can, like being a plumber or something. So I think she just wanted me to have something tangible, like a tangible career that she could see, and do you know what I mean? So but yeah, man, it's been alright, man.
How did you deliver that message to her then to try and win her over?
Bro, I just keep making music. I just keep making music, keep surviving, keep managing to obviously help out the family and stay above water, bro. So it's like, as long as I can do that, which I've always managed to do, you always obviously hit new like obstacles and stuff, but there's nothing that's defeated me before, bro. So I feel like if I just keep moving forward, do you know what I mean? Whenever I feel like, oh, this too hard, or I'm at a point where things are difficult or anything, I just keep moving forward and somehow I work my way out of it, bro. So I just feel like that's what it is. I think she's just seen the consistency. So there's nothing else that's going to make me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And just living free creative, bro.
I'm interested to know how typical you think that situation is where you don't have a father figure. You've just got your mum within the area that you grew up in.
Very typical. I mean, the area I grew up in, I mean, there's a lot of examples of good dads, man. I don't want to... there's a lot of people who grew up with their fathers that, even with their dads in the house, they still kind of took a shady path. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's beneficial if he's going to be a present father. Some people have got their dads and he's not present. You know what I mean? You can live with your pops and he's not a present dad. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a very typical situation. I think a lot of people are in that boat, but a lot of people do grow up with their dads as well.
Yeah, the reason I ask, and there is a reason, is to kind of understand. So you say it's very typical. Yeah. How much do you think that typical scenario or situation is responsible for going down routes which you express in your music?
Yeah, I think it has there's a high correlation, just because the things you don't get from your dad, you kind of search for it elsewhere. So I found mine in that Brotherhood, like literally in my friends and the Brotherhood that I created in my area and stuff. I feel like.
What do you mean by Brotherhood? Sorry.
So the advice. So for example, speaking to your boys about girls, your first few dates with girls back in the day. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going home and talking to my mum about it so much as you're with the man them and talking to them about it. So you're going through that situation with them. Your first fights, your first bit of money that you make, it's like you're sharing. To be fair, I used to say it all the time. I used to see my friends more than I see my family. I used to be out on the block with the boys all day. We're out all day, we're in a car all day, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I spend more time with these people than I did with my family. So you kind of, that's what was missing at home, like that father figure and that love and that open space to talk. You find it with the man then. That's what I feel anyway.
How genuine do you think that bond is?
Well, it's the people that are still here now, it was genuine between them. A lot of people fall off along the way. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people. You have friends back in the day where they're just your friends when you see them outside. Like, I'll come to the block, you're here. We're friends. You've never been to each other's houses. You've never spoken to my mum or anything. It's like, those people tend to fall off, man. But everyone that's came and sat and knows my mum and I've met their mum and we've had a real brotherhood and we've lasted till now and they're still my brothers now. Yeah, man.
To talk about kind of the more recent past, so like adolescence, how would you describe that?
Bro, I just spent a lot of time outside, man. Yeah, just spent a lot of time outside.
What do you mean by outside?
Just outside my home. Just grafting, hustling and stuff. You know what I mean? Just trying to find my way, man. I'd say. And then it's kind of been the same, bro. It's been consistent since young. Just been me, my bro, and my mum. Uncle Winston died a few years ago. My little brother's in hospital now, so it's just me and my mum on the outside. But it's like, it's kind of just always been a trio, me, my mum and my brother. Like, for the most part, that's as tight as it gets, you know what I mean? So it's just, I feel like it's been the same for a long time, bro. You know what I mean?
You referenced like earlier in the conversation when we were speaking about like father figure and stuff like that, and you're very vocal about the fact that Winston was like your father figure and he was the person that taught you those lessons that potentially you missed out on.
Even tying a tie. I remember him to teach me how to tie a tie, how to polish my shoes. Little things, you know what I mean? Things like your pops would teach you how to cut the grass and little things, bro. It's like that was my pops that taught me that stuff, you know what I mean?
So I was just going to ask, how much tougher did that make his passing?
Yeah, Yeah, it was a lot, bro. Because he taught me a lot, man. Just even down to like, not even just like finances was a big one as well. Because lucky, like he was a bouncer back in the day. He died at 72, so he's 1942, I think he was born or something like that. But he was a doorman back in the day. I think they used to call it a doorman or whatever back in the day. And then he used to run clubs, nightclubs. And then he became a cab driver, black cab driver. But he done it in the times where it was sick. Like you'd go out, you'd come back with like $2,000 for the night, bro. And he was like very good at saving his money. So when he passed, he managed to have 2 houses, like and really like good savings, and just like left behind a bit for his family and stuff. You know what I mean? So even in that sense, he just always had money. You know, like when I came here, I was 6. When I went to his house, it was just he just always had money. And I was like, what is this? How you just always got money? Do you know what I mean? But then obviously you grow up and you realize, right, he was saving a lot. He owned his house. He was going out making a couple grand a night, and really his overheads were just shopping. And he was just a man. He was a big belly man. So he just used to enjoy his food and just chill and just go to work. He used to tell me himself, I'm not a gambler. I don't drink. I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm not a womanizer. So he said that's where he saves all his money. Do you know what I'm saying? He's just a man that goes to work. He goes to Sainsbury's, fills up his diesel in his cabin. He heads out to his job. You know what I'm saying? So he taught me a lot in that, and just routine as well. And he's very. He used to go to church every Sunday. You know what I mean? Give his tiffs and that, and then yeah, man. He was a proper guy, bro. Just a proper guy, yeah, man. Proper guy. He saved my life, bro. Saved my mum's life. Do you know what I mean? Without him, I wouldn't be here. So he's a proper guy, man. Yeah.
What do you mean by without him I wouldn't be here?
So when my mum had to escape from Jamaica to here, and obviously he took her in. He taught her about finances, helped her get a house and stuff, and you know what I mean. If it weren't for him obviously taking her here, my mum would have had to stay in Jamaica and obviously go through what she was going through. Me and my younger brother ended up getting kidnapped and brought here to the UK to reunite with my mum. And obviously when we came, we met Uncle Winston with her. You know what I mean? So,
what did that situation look like, the kidnapping specifically?
So, bro, it was domestic violence, innit? My pops used to bruise my mum up a lot, man. And once he almost killed her, bro. Like he stabbed her. And I remember her being bloody from head to toe. And that was the last time I saw her for a bit.
And how old were you?
About 5. I think I was 5 here. 5 going on 6 probably.
How vivid is that memory now?
I kind of remember the apartment, and I just remember because it was not too long before it happened. I popped my eardrum. I tried to clean my own ear. I never used to do it myself. My mum used to say, "Don't do it," and I popped my eardrum. I remember that pain, and I just remember the apartment that I used to be in. And I remember my mum, and she was frantic around the thing, and my pops had a saucepan, and he stabbed her. I know because she's got a tattoo now to cover it up. And then that was the last time I saw it. I don't remember much after that, but I remember being with my pups after that for a bit. My auntie came to see me. Next thing I know, I'm in snow in England. It was wild, man. It's like movie shit, innit? You know, I don't know, but my pops was just a crazy guy back in the day. He used to do that back in the day when he used to get a slap on the wrist for doing mad stuff. He used to just do mad stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
This is kind of more of a present question, but how do you feel about your dad now? What are your feelings towards him now?
I don't know, you know, I don't have negative feelings towards him. Like, I don't hate him or anything. It's just, I don't really, you know what it is? My pops made a lot of money. Like he made millions. Like my pops made millions. And yeah, I used to have a lot of women. I got siblings coming up my foot, bro. Like I can't, like I've said this before. Like I meet siblings on Instagram, like cousins, brothers, sisters. Like I've met like a good 4 of my blood siblings through Instagram. Like one of my sisters is in New York, another one's in Toronto. A lot of my family's in Canada. My dad's side's Canadian, so a lot of the families and I've met a lot of these kids, bro. A lot of them older than me, younger than me. I've got a nephew who's older than me. So it's like the ages, everything just gets weird. So I understand, look, you was making a lot of money. He was a singer at the time. He used to do his thing. The women used to help him make the bread as well. So I understand that you're a man, innit? So obviously that you kind of get ahead of yourself there. But yeah, I was just trying to understand the whole picture was a bit much for me. Do you get me? Yeah, man. But I don't have negative feelings towards him, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I don't hold anything negative in my heart about it. It just is what it is. Yeah.
That's interesting. The reason that I wanted to go into the Winston situation, the passing, is because a lot of what I pride myself on in this content is that unfortunately everyone's gone through different things, no matter what they be. They'll be different, but everyone's experienced trauma, experienced loss and stuff like that. So I like to put not a positive spin on it, but to understand how you got through it, and potentially that will help someone that's watching or listening. So what was like your coping mechanism for that situation?
It's not really having time to slow down. I don't know if it's not a positive.
I was going to say, do you think that's a good?
I don't think it's a positive, but it's what helps you cope, man. It's like when something like that happens, and it's like, cool, the person who used to help out mum a lot is not here anymore. The person who used to help out my younger brother a lot, or kind of be there, kind of like cornerstone, is not here. You get forced to step up a bit. You feel like you have to kind of feel a type of void. So that inability to slow down and kind of like grieve too long, you just keep moving forward, man. I feel like it helps, bro. It's not the most positive thing, but I feel like the only thing that kind of helps you through them situations is time. So like, as you're moving through time, obviously you can either get swallowed by it or you come out like more progressive at the end of it, innit? Depending on how you go through that time.
And what camp would you put yourself in?
I just came out more progressive, bro. I don't let time swallow me out, man.
What did you learn?
Just trying to be present. Like, he was a very present guy, bro. He was really there, do you know what I mean? Like, proper there. Thinking the whole time I known him, there was only once he forgot to come pick up me and my brother from school. And we ended up walking back from school. I think it was Coston, so I was like, year 4 or year 5. Me and my little brother, he forgot, I think he fell asleep. And he forgot to pick us up, and we walked from Greenford to Wembley. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hour walk. It's like the only time he's ever forgot to pick us up, and he was just so apologetic. And it was like it hurt him that he wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? Just that little thing. It's like understandable. You work nights. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're getting old. You forget things. But he was so apologetic about it. It just taught me to be present, bro. He was like proper. He tried to make everyone happy. It weren't the best thing for him, because obviously you can't.
Yeah.
But I feel like that wanting to just showed like he was present for everyone that he tried to make happy in it. So yeah, man, just try and be more present.
It feels appropriate to move into the present then. So a lot of what I read about and what you listen to and stuff like that, it always says that like happiness is found within the present moment, not in the past, not in the future.
Not in the future, yeah.
So how are you right now?
I'm alright. I've been better, I've been worse, bro. I'm kind of in a balance right now, man. Like I was saying before the cameras came on, it's just trying to find some headspace. I mean, I feel like I've just been kind of in a loop for a little bit, so just trying to find some headspace. I'm good though, like overall very good, man. Yeah, man.
Okay. The reason I ask is because you say so in one of your tracks, I don't search for peace no more because I don't think I'm finding it. Why?
I feel like it's gonna come. Like maybe I don't think it's something I need to look for. I feel like the more you look for it, the more you kind of you push it away from you. Peace. I think peace is obviously a state of mind. And like I said, when I'm in a state of mind of just like constantly hustling and just like grafting, it's like you don't really get headspace to find peace. Do you know what I mean? So it's not something I'll search for. I feel like it will come when it's deserved. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess this kind of puts a different spin on it, but what would you say your definition of peace looks like?
Just being able to be still. Like it sounds mad, but just being able to be still in it doesn't worry you, bro. Like, you know, when you can just be still, it's like nothing's worrying you. Like your finances don't worry you. Your last marketing campaign's not worrying you. You know what I mean? Family's not stressing you. It's just, I feel like that's what peace looks like, man. You could just be, bro. It's just being in a space where your responsibilities don't they don't get on top of you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's peace. So whenever I'm ahead of things, I feel more peaceful. You know what I mean? Having things sorted out. Yeah.
How much do you feel like your things are sorted out at the moment?
So life, it's at 50-50, man.
50-50?
Yeah, 50-50.
Let's tackle the negative 50 first. What does that look like?
So just, I mean, the negative 50, what isn't sorted out is obviously I'm not where I want to be career-wise yet. I don't think I've accomplished what I want to. I feel like, but I really believe that comes later in my career as opposed to being something that I've missed. Career-wise, I mean, you could always have more money. You could always have more money for like things. Just, you know what I mean. What else? Negative. I don't know, bro. I don't really focus on negatives, man. I'd say it's not really a negative. They're just things that are incomplete. You know what I mean? There's nothing really that weighs me down or anything that bad in my life or anything like that. So I wouldn't really say negative. Yeah, just say things that need to be completed.
It's a good mindset.
Yeah, man. Because not like how negative does it get? Do you know what I mean? Like people, like I don't know, man. Like even Uncle Winston's death, I wouldn't see that as a negative in my life. It's just something that's happened, bro. There's nothing I can do about it. Like one thing I've learned, obviously, through obviously the markets and stuff, is just, bro, there's some things that I just way out of my control that I can't do anything about it. Whether I'm stressed now or not, it's like nothing changes it. So it's better I just let it ride, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
For sure. I often like to think about these conversations, these podcast episodes, as like a bit of a therapy session, if that makes sense. Not just for me, but for the guest as well. So in one of your most recent songs, you say like, they say I need therapy, try explaining, but they ain't hearing me. What do you want to express?
What do I want to express? I think I kind of just said that on a note of just like my content of what I usually speak about, like trying to explain, but they ain't hearing me. It's like in therapy, you'd obviously speak about your life. Certain things that I've just been speaking on for a while there's certain things I've been speaking on for a while that people just, that people ain't listening to. Do you know what I mean? For like just music related. Yeah. You know, and you're just saying you're the best and things like that. It's just like, when are you not going to hear me for real? Do you know what I mean?
Let's talk about music then. So you referenced off camera that you're taking a bit of a break.
Yeah. So I don't want to say a break because it sounds like it's deserved. not a break, just a break from how I've been releasing my stuff and how I've kind of been coming at the music. I just want to recalculate things. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think that's a better way to say it. Yeah,
no, definitely recalculation is a good statement. Why the recalculation? What do you feel like you miscalculated maybe as a better...
Nah, so what I was saying is just, bro, the amount that I put into my music just financially, one thing is financially, the amount I put in is just like into certain aspects of my music. I feel like I need to change, for example, visuals. Like I spend a lot of money on visuals. I'm not somebody who gets a lot of views. So my videos that do get the most views are really stripped back videos where I'm just rapping. So in my mind, all right, cool, let's just focus on those as opposed to spending 3-4 grand on a video that's only got 40,000 views on YouTube and stuff. Just makes sense, innit? I got a secure life at the same time as chasing my dream. Do you know what I mean? So what I was saying is I don't want to get to a point where I'm like, oh, I've done all of this and I could have done more, like in life as well, just financially, you know what I mean? Like buying houses and certain things, like I was saying, fam. So I don't want to before I get to that point where it's too far and I've spent too much and it's slower to recoup and things, you know what I mean? I just feel like in order to keep going the music and for it to go where it needs to go, I need to secure life at the same time. Yeah. It's a balance, isn't it?
Definitely, balance is huge. Quick one. We work with a lot of up-and-coming urban artists across the UK who are seeking press assistance, radio airtime, creative marketing solutions, and really all-round artist development within an industry that is constantly evolving. Which is why when we had the opportunity to partner with the 1994 Collective on this podcast, it made perfect sense. So to any aspiring artists that are seeking commercial success, please do get in contact with the 1994 Collective and let them know we sent you. What else are you focusing on at the moment then?
I'm trying to build, bro. I'm trying to build something that will help the rappers coming up under me as well. So like I was saying, we're still scaling. I'm trying to build that. I'm trying to get a team together and build something there. I don't want to say too much because like, it's not something that's secure, that's concrete. Like in terms of all the ideas for it. But I'm trying to build, man. I've got got crazy ideas, but I've got an NFT multimedia platform that I've got framework for that I feel like a company could use. Like, it's not something that I can build myself, but I've looked around and there's still no one building one. And it's an idea that I've had for a while now. So it's like things like that. I've been writing songs for other artists. Not artists in particular, but like to pitch to other artists and stuff. So I've been writing like R&B songs and like a couple raps and like American accents and shit. So you know what I mean. There's a lot, bro. There's a lot. I got loads of ideas, but it's just about kind of like fine tuning them and like going at one and like making that work and then moving on to the next, as opposed to having 10 ideas and never trying any of them. Do you know what I mean? I've got on my Saucy Kids events that I'm gonna do one this year.
What does that look like?
So just get fathers with their kids coming through, just either learning how to do their kids' hair. So mainly their daughters learning how to do their hair, teaching like the youths about finances, markets and logos and stuff. Like a lot of kids, not a lot of kids, but obviously the way the world's going, everything's digital, and the way kids recognize stuff is mainly through like logos. Like a lot of companies, like I noticed with my daughter, she knows like KFC logo, McDonald's logo, Netflix, Disney, and all of these places that she goes past, Sainsbury's, Tesco, like she can say them out just because of the logos and stuff. So I feel like there's an opportunity there to make a platform where kids can be taught financial literacy through logos and stuff, and like how to invest because of the logo. Like for example, Tesla. Like why would you invest in like McDonald's? Well, everyone eats at McDonald's, daddy, and blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. So just bare ideas, bro. I got a million ideas. It's just about trying to find that space to, share those ideas with people that can come along and help with them. Do you know what I mean? I can't do everything myself. So yeah, man.
You say you got a million ideas, and to be honest, I find myself like in the same situation sometimes of having so many ideas that I think are like have a lot of potential. So with that in mind, how do you prioritize the best ones?
For a long time, I haven't, bro. I haven't. They've just been ideas in my head, and I tell them to people, and it's like I need to build. What I need to do is kind of put them out or speak about them maybe on my platform and stuff, and then I find people that can help me do them. I feel like a lot of my ideas aren't my passions. So for me to do it, it's just it feels like it's time consuming for me. But I feel like, for example, the multimedia NFT platform, it won't be long before someone figures it out and does one, and I'll be like, oh, this is sick. This makes total sense. Like I've got the idea now, I've got the framework now, but it's like, how do I communicate that to someone who wants it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So prioritizing them, I think I just prioritize what feels good, bro. What's best for the soul at that time. Do you know what I mean? Which one can I actually put some love into, and which one's not just going to bore me because it's a good idea, but it's like a financially good idea, but there's no real passion for it. So it's like, before you get to the money, you have to find someone with the passion for it to help you get there. It's like with my clothing ideas and stuff, I don't really have a passion for fashion and like clothing and stuff, but I know that some of the ideas that I have are very sick. Do you know what I mean? When not like my merch stuff is obviously merch stuff. I mean like clothing lines and stuff, like my Saucy line and Saucy Kids and stuff. It's like dope stuff, but it's not something I have a passion for. So I'd have to find someone who believes in it with me and they have a passion for it in order to bring it to life. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I think it goes back to balance. Like you were saying earlier, it's having that balance of the idea is great, but also the passion's there, so you're going to pursue it, because launching any business opportunity, side hustle, whatever it is not easy. So when it gets hard, you need to rely on the passion to pull you through those tough situations. When you touched upon the Saucy Kids, I instantly thought about, so obviously your daughter and the struggles that you've been through, like parents-wise. So I guess at the forefront of your mind, you've got the struggles that you went through. How much inspiration and drive does that give you to be like the best father to your daughter?
I don't really relate my life to that one. I don't know, none, to be honest. Like I don't look at, because my dad weren't there, I need to be there for her. It's just automatic. Like it's not because of him why am I good. Do you know what I mean? I've never had that. I've never felt like that, bro. It's just there's certain things I want to avoid for her. Obviously, I'm in a co-parenting situation, so her life's already different. Do you know what I mean? She has two sets of, like, do you know what I mean? It's just, her life's already different, so I don't know, man. I just show up, bro. Be present, show up. But I don't try and tie it to like my past trauma or anything. Like the reason I'm a present father.
That's really interesting, because a lot of people would say in that situation, they say, look, what I went through. It gives me like that inspiration, that drive to really be better. Do you know what I mean? But it's really interesting that you don't take that view at all.
Nah, bro. The fact that I played a part in her birth, that I have to show up, bro. I can't give the credit to my trauma or blame it on my trauma or my past. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just, she's the reason I show up. It's not because of anything that's happened to me. It's the fact that you're here. That's what I feel like.
That speaks volumes about you, I think, as a person. So that's inspirational. So I appreciate you being honest, first of all, and for sharing that. That means a lot. So I kind of want to transition into the future. So what would you say like a couple of things are at the moment that like consume your focus that you want to rid yourself of in the future?
That I want to consume my focus, that I want to rid myself. Finances. Finances. I think like money-wise, just balancing money, innit? You know, like making money is easy, bro. Like I know everyone said, I mean, people know this. Making money is like, it's just money management and stuff. And where, like I said, the output that I'm putting into music, like the investment to reward on like music videos, is like maybe like 20, 25, maybe even 30K a year, just on things like that. Maybe if I'm doing a few videos, like, but that would be like, that's what I'm saying. Even down to planning shoots, I still do all of that myself. I'm sure there's someone out there who could help me even keep costs down there as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But finances is one where I just don't want to think about it like as much as I do. Like I feel like I have to proper think about how I'm gonna retain bread. Because like right at the moment it's like cool, man's young and man can get around and got energy and got all these ideas, so the bread's gonna keep coming. But it's like, all right, cool, I know, look, I need to put down some money and I need to build this for the future. And it's like everything's just, it's always hustle, graft, innit? So you want to get to, I know there's no finishing line, but you want to get to a point where it's like, all right, cool, these 4 or 5 things, this is it, that set me up for, you know what I mean, for things. So I want to get to that point. What else, man? I'd say the ideas in my head as well, bro. I want to rid myself of the ideas. I want to give them to the world. I feel like that's a big one as well, man. Like they proper weigh me down, like the ideas. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wake up and I see people complain about things, and I'm just like, there's an easy solution here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like, even just down to little music industry stuff. There's easy solutions to some of these problems that we have.
What would you say? Let's talk about music industry. You said problems. What are the problems and what are the easy solutions?
I wouldn't say problems, but views that people have. Like for example, right, we're in a time now of just fast food music. Like just TikTok music. TikToks came and just effed up everything. It is what it is now, but it's like you saw it coming. The fact that like playlists are telling you to make music 2 minutes long to be on playlists is that people start making music. No one, I won't say no one, because there's obviously people like myself and obviously other people, but it's like the majority of people that have the light shining on them don't make music, don't make pure music. It's to be presented to the consumer in a certain way, like whether it's via TikTok or a 2-minute playlist on Spotify or whatever like that. It's not, there's no like purity in it.
How does that make you feel?
I don't feel a way about it. I mean, I wish, bro, I wish, don't get me wrong, I wish my situation was better in music as well. I'll never shy away from that, or else or else I'd just be happy, innit? Like there's always somewhere else I want to get to. And I feel like I just feel like there needs to be light shined on people who have purity. And whether that's rappers, R&B singers, I feel like talent just needs a light shine on them, innit, more. And I don't know what that comes in the form of, because you can't force the consumer to make a song big. It's the consumer that makes it big at the end of the day. So whether that light is just more radio, and then obviously with that you'd say, but radio plays a lot of songs as well. So it's like, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I wish the consumer would kind of just take to these people more. You know what I mean? Just so there's balance. Like you have the shit music as well, and you have the good stuff. And it's like the consumer, but you can't blame them because it's what they've been trained to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that training will ever change?
Nah, not for the generation below us. Not for the generations below us, no. Nah. just because of things like TikTok, bro. It's like you go on your social media and you just hear the same sound. It's like, all right, cool, this is the sound. Like, there's no other prominent sound that you're going to hear as much as whatever they're trying to push. So it's just like you have no choice but to hear it. Whether you like it or not, it's up to you, but it's what you hear, so you know what the current sound is. You know what I mean? They kind of create that dynamic. They being the people pushing the music. You know what I mean? I'm not talking from a point of, oh, it's bad and blah, blah. It just, I feel like it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Obviously, we know, I think people can see TikTok's just kind of washed, like, creativity down the drain. Like, just, like, you see a video, you've seen 300,000 people do the same video and you just think, yeah, let me just be the extra person to do it as well. It's just that, doesn't really make sense, man.
Will you ever adopt that strategy?
Well, just copying like TikTok content. I mean, maybe, but not in that way. I might be able, I'm trying to figure out how to use TikTok in a way that makes sense, because all I see is people doing voiceovers or dancing videos and stuff, and that's not content. Like, it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? I know there's educational stuff and day in the life and people showing you their lives and good things. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if I can find a balance between communicating through the platform and just a way that makes sense, then yeah, man, why not? I've got a TikTok, it's just got nothing on it, but I've got one, just so I've got my username and stuff. I'm sure someone come and take my username. So I've got it. I was putting my daughter on it. She was actually just using it, just did like days at the farm and things. So I don't know what to use it for, bro.
When's the first one coming?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to use it for, bro. Even if I did, I'm still trying to communicate the same things I'm always try to communicate.
So it's just understanding and analysing the method of communication to deliver the same message.
Through that platform, yeah. And yeah, so that's what it is, really, yeah.
That's interesting.
But I'm not against any of the changes or anything that's currently happening. It's just I wish there was more balance. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Because there's people that I listen to that are sick and it's just like, rah, man. Like, when would you ever just get some more ears? I mean, I listen to people, I'm just like, rah, it's deep, man. Because it's like, one day you're probably going to give up on this because it's so hard to keep going, man. Do you know what I mean? Most people just kind of just forget about it, man. Yeah, bro.
It's interesting. I'm glad we could go into that, actually, because obviously it's very... it's a big topic of conversation at the moment, so it's good to discuss it and to get your thoughts on it.
I think for music landscape, I feel like for the landscape of music, there just needs to be more balance in it, just for the future. Like, everything can't just be quick microwave washy stuff. I just think there needs to be balance. But you see a lot of that, like I said earlier, there's artists that do get their flowers and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just more balance, really. Yeah, man.
Balance is a big word, and it's been kind of constant throughout, so I can see the importance of it. But to kind of like wrap the future up for your future, like, what does your ideal future situation look like? Me, just being relevant in the space that I operate in. Just being that obviously for my type of listener, I want to expand on obviously my support system worldwide, and obviously help out other artists as well, so they can not have to go through what I went through, and kind of get to that space, get to the point where they can generate off their smaller audiences. You know what I mean? Like, I see someone posted the other day, one of my pals that I follow, and he was like, a lot of rappers don't know, they can't name 3 of their supporters' first names. And I was just thinking, like, even you, bro, it's like, I know your name, I know your address, and I know certain things because I do the things myself. You know what I mean? I send out things and I know things, and I was like, well, that's good. Like, it's good that when I do things like the merch and sell certain things, like the same people pop up and support, man. It's like for years they've been doing it, bro, and I'm just like, this is all like musicians really need. You just need a core support system that allows you to want to expand on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you get that kind of unwavering support, it's like it gives you faith that, I can find more of these people to help me, and there's a message here that obviously helps these people, but also they're willing to help me pursue it. And you know what I mean? So what do you think? So let's put myself in the shoes of like an upcoming artist who has like a few core fans, whatever, and they're sitting there and they're thinking, okay, like, I take on board what you're saying. How many dedicated supporters do you think I need to make a viable amount of money?
How many dedicated? Well, Bro, you could do it with 100.
100.
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, if they're willing to help you and you interact with them enough and have enough good things for them to purchase and feel a part of, then yeah, you could. Not for long. You know what I mean? You have to get a new 100 like every now and then, but you can do it. But
What's the shelf life of a supporter then?
See, I don't know, man, because I've had people that have supported me and then like supported me for 6 months and then they just don't care no more. And then I've had people that support me for 5 years, like 10 years almost, bro. So I don't know, man. It just depends on the art. It depends on how they find the artist. I feel like a lot of people find me through recommendations, and then the only reason they go and listen is because it's recommended by someone who's obviously saying, "Yo, no."
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like a viral moment where it's like, oh, let me go listen to his music. Oh, this song's sick. Let me go to his concert for this one song. It's like, I don't know nothing else. You know, when you're introduced to a supporter like that, it's harder. But I feel like when people are recommended to go and listen and then they go back through the songs, it's like they
know the catalogue.
Right. They're introduced through a journey as opposed to just, yo, you're here and you're in my face. I feel like that's where the difference is. I feel like the shelf life, that's what's going to tell you the shelf life of your supporter is how you're introduced to them. That's what I believe anyway. Yeah, man. I feel like, just when they grow with you, I mean, you get to a point where I'm one of them artists where it's going to be momentum. Like, if there's going to be anything significant or anything crazy that happens or anything that has happened, it's always been momentum. It's never just been one out of the blue moment. It's like
compound interest.
Right. It's off the back of compounding and momentum. A couple things happening and then this big moment and then a couple things happening, this big moment. So for me to move forward, I know it's momentum. It's not just going to be one viral moment or anything. Do you know what I mean? And if it was, then luckily I've got the catalogue for people to go back to and say, at least he's done some work. It's not just out of the blue. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's really interesting. So yeah, again, thank you for the knowledge and for the gems. I guess to tie up, and you referenced big moment, momentum, big moment, momentum. Finally, what's the next big moment?
Next big moment, well, for me, it will be the show. I guess that would be like a closing off for the Hustlers Need Healing chapter. And just like that tape with that tape coming out and like, just, like the tape's helped a lot of people as well, man. I feel like people really just get into a space where they actually think about their feelings and stuff. It's just what I wanted to do, bro. People just kind of internalize how you feel and just move around it, innit? As long as you accept it, you can decide how you feel about it. So yeah, we'll probably be the show. And then probably launching Still Scaling. I proper want to launch it, bro. It's not the easiest thing to do, man. And the idea that I've got is sick, and I just I proper want to launch it, man. I need to find a team of people that see the vision.
Can I ask you? Because you say I proper want to launch it.
Yeah.
To me, want is like it's more like of a dream word, if that makes sense. It's not I need to. I will launch it.
Nah,
like what is stopping you?
So what's stopping me, bro, is I can't do it alone. So it's putting together a team of people who will understand the idea and it will be beneficial for them for it to work. Do you know what I mean? Like something like that I can't do it on my own. So when I say I want to, it's like it depends on who comes on board. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I need to. I don't think there's a need for it. I just feel like there is a need. I don't know, man. See, the thing with it is like, I don't know until I test the waters. You know what I mean? I don't know until I test the waters. So in my head, there's a need. There's a need for it. I feel like it will help, and it's also selfish because it's something that I want to get out of my head. You know what I mean? It's my own idea. I want to see it happen. You know what I mean? And then the people kind of tell me whether there's a need for it. You know what I mean? It's not like one of them crazy niches where it's like, nah, this is crazy. It's just, I feel like it's something that would help.
Sick. Yeah. Well, I hope to see you make it happen.
Yeah, so do I, bro.
For sure.
So do I, bro.
Well, I just want to say, like, from my perspective, before I go into the last two questions, which regular listeners will be familiar with by now, but like, genuinely from my perspective, sitting across from you and just having a very honest, deep, transparent and information-heavy conversation has been really inspirational. So thank you for your time.
No, man. Thank you for your time, bro. It's cool, man. Thank you.
No, don't mention it. Okay, so the last two questions. So I will ask you for a nomination after this first question, but to give you like a couple of moments to think about that. Within like the UK music, rap industry, whatever you want to call it, what would you say is like an unanswered question or like a topic you would like more light to be shed on?
In the industry, more light to be shed on. In UK music, more light to be shed on in UK music. The benefits of artist development, just because in my head, right? In my head, it makes sense for A&Rs or labels to find artists that are small but already have like fan bases. That already, like, for example, when you go to their comments and their pages, they've got like everyone that listens supports. Like 9 out of 10 people supports them and thinks they're sick. Like you find a lot of these artists, like a lot of these smaller artists, they might have like 6,000 followers, but you go into their comments and they've just got like 1,000 comments or something. It's like sick, bro, sick, bro, sick, bro. You know what I mean? Like 800 of them are real. The rest are just like, like just 3 comments from one person. But the fact is, the point I'm trying to make is just, in my head, it would make sense to find these artists and shine a light on them. Because that means if 9 out of 10 people listen to them, just need more people to listen to them. As opposed to always trying to find just something fresh and new, just out of the blue. I feel like even now that artists that have been around for long, they're starting to get their flowers and they're starting to get into certain places now. I feel like when you get the artists that have been grinding for a bit, but they've got like a smaller thing, but you kind of amplify what they are, I feel like it's better for, I don't know, I feel like it's better for everything on a whole, like music on a whole. Cause like not only does it give like inspiration to the people that have been going for long to know that, all right, cool, there's a breakthrough coming for you, but the quality of music or the purity of the music from those people who have managed to keep going is usually better, and they're usually better to work with and easier to work with, as opposed to people always complaining about the artists they work with being hard and stuff because they're not used to the environment, used to the work. You know what I mean? They've kind of just been pushed into it off the back of one viral moment. Now you're expected to make 10, 12 songs of a mixtape when you don't really have a story. You just have a viral moment. You have to force it now. You have to make up that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? As opposed to there's people who have a real story, and there's kids out here, not even just kids, bro, but there's people out here that have got that. So just the importance of artist development. Yeah, like even as an artist being self-sufficient stuff, I always preach this being self-sufficient, but I record all my own music. Like there's only certain bits that I don't record myself, you know what I mean? So self-sufficiency as well, man. And that's a part of artist development, so yeah.
Sick answer. Very, very good answer. So we'll see if we can look into that. So yeah, finally, out of your catalogue of connections, I always say, so artist, producer, manager, whoever it might be, who do you nominate to sit down with us to speak to us?
Good question. I was supposed to think about it earlier, innit? That's a good question, man. You know, honestly, sit down with you lot now.
And you can look into that
probably
camera
Tef.
and speak to them.
Probably Tef, young's Tef.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tef's someone I feel like his next few years are going to be like his best years. And it's the fact that he's been going so long and he's a well-moulded artist. So I feel like Tef would be good to, you know what I mean, see you lot, talk to Tef, man.
Why do you think he should come on if he's watching this and thinking, why should I come on?
Bro, I just think it's just good to hear from people who've got longevity and who have a mindset towards the music that's like, it's a marathon mindset, innit? It's that marathon mindset. It is what it is, innit? Or else, if it wasn't, he would have given up by now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, probably Tef, bro.
Sick.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. Well, hopefully we can make it happen.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, thank you for your time. Honestly, we'll sign off. But yeah, it's been amazing. So I appreciate your time. And how have you found it?
Yeah, it's been good, but it's always good to just it's always good to talk, innit? It's always good to just kind of like, I don't know, questions, even if you've kind of spoken on a subject before, it's just good to kind of like resonate with it. How do you feel about it in present terms? So yeah, man, it's been good, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I'm real.